West when pedophiles had to somewhat work for their victims.
Well, guys,
Hey,
J. Peter W.
You came in just the right amount. That's just the right time.
hey, buddy, welcome back to the show.
Can you hear us?
Jay, Peter, Justin. Oh no, not this problem.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yeah.
It's this.
Huh?
It's this.
It's this what?
You said not this, and it is this.
Oh man. How do we help him?
I don't know.
You got me.
Do you have his phone number? Call him up on the telephone.
He's obviously having technical issues. How do we get him fixed for him?
To go into his cam and mic.
Jay, did you install your mic and speaker correctly when you came in?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh well.
If you talk real slow, he'll hear you.
Yeah.
I think we should all form
J. Peter W. Can you hear us?
He
We
said
should all
he's
form
going
a
to try
what now,
his phone,
Jack?
and well, he said he's going to try his phone, and he wants us to give him a minute. So starting right now, he has a minute.
You have a minute and more if you need it, sir.
What did you say, Zach? We should all start a what?
Ska band.
Oh no,
Fuck
you guys
that.
can't.
Fuck that.
Okay, if we did a ska band, how would the lineup be?
I wouldn't be in that ska band.
You would be in it. We're freaking forcing you. You can't do anything to negate it.
Well, how many members?
I can kind of play keyboard.
Okay, so Ben would be on keyboard.
How
what
many-
instrument would Jeremy play?
I'm asking how many members do
The trombone.
Hey,
That's what I was thinking.
can you guys hear me?
Actually,
Yeah,
no,
we
I
can
played
hear
the
you.
trombone.
Ignoring you.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just ignoring you because fuck you.
I hear some kind of
But
weird
I did play the
trombone in the
Actually, I
background.
played the trombone back in elementary school, so maybe I could relearn it. If you really want to get the bitches, that's the instrument you need to play, the trombone. And there's tons of big getting pussy thrown at you like rotted fish.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
The trombone and chicks.
You don't know what trombone is? I don't either.
Yeah, I know why the chicks grab.
That's why you get no fucking pussy.
It was a joke. He was making a joke.
Oh. Well, how many members do you need to start a ska band? How many instruments?
All of them. How many members do you need to start a ska band? The answer is yes.
Yeah, because there are multiple horn sections. And trombone is one of them. I don't know if you have to have more than one trombone or not.
You gotta have a trumpet.
Trumpet.
At least. And if you want to be original, have a tuba.
I don't like tubas.
You use a tuba wouldn't work instead of a bass. You'd still need a bass.
Yeah, you could have both of them.
You get what do you call a mellophone?
Yeah,
think
well, that's
Gregor
that's a
would play
keyboard. So
Tuba or not tuba?
I don't like that. Gregor would play bass. What about Phoenix?
Guitar.
great. Yeah, he plays guitar.
Come on,
I don't know,
Jay.
what would you play, Zach?
I play rhythm guitar.
So we need a drummer. So maybe Jeremy can be the drummer.
No, he's the trombonist.
Yeah, but I see Jeremy as
trombonist.
the weird suit wearing front man.
Now I think we should have Ann be the singer. We'll be like what's that dang band?
Hey, Ferris.
Saving Ferris. Yeah. So we'll be a female fronted ska band.
And we should like record in like the bathrooms with shitty equipment, so we sound like old school Jamaican ska.
Yes.
And I'll be the first person to leave the band.
No,
Because of drug problems.
Yeah, that'd be
No,
good.
that would be
The
me.
only way you could leave
That
would
would
be
be
death.
me. That would be me.
I mean, I'll be the first one not to join it. Really.
I was gonna suggest that we should do karaoke on this show, but we'd get hit up the ass with copyright.
I don't know. It depends how good of a singer you are and whether or not you can carry a tune. If you can't carry a tune, you'll be fine.
If you do it a cappella, nobody will give a shit.
No, they might.
Let's see if this is the difference maker. Jay? Come on, man.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Welcome. Thanks, man. Hey, so the mood is going to be significantly different because I'm actually really digging this new book, man.
Yeah, it's a nice change from last time.
Yeah, I know. I completely tore it apart last time. No,
Wait, what was the book last time? I can't remember.
Luciferin or Luciferin.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sorry to spoil it for anyone, but it ended with the girl having like snakes for hands, and I just thought it was kind of dumb. No offense, but no, I haven't finished this one yet, but I am really digging it. Why don't you set up the synopsis for people?
Sure.
Also, fight Jeremy and tell him why his opinion of whatever the other book is wrong.
Don't listen to him. Go ahead.
Listen to me.
Go ahead.
And then when monsters happen, it's about twin sisters who go through a tragedy, lose their parents, and end up having to move in with their aunt, who lives in this kind of a trailer up on top of this mountain, kind of surrounded by these woods, real secluded, except for this other family lives at the bottom with a little girl about their age, and then this I don't want to give too much away, but they hear
Monsters happen, right?
yeah, they hear noises in the woods, monsters, and as they start to explore, find out more about the monsters and what their intentions are.
Dude, I've got to spoil something. They're
All right,
animatronics. They're animatronic monsters in the woods, and they're like programmed and dressed up with animal hides by this eccentric old man that lives in the woods, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And that's the part that I'm really digging. Like an animatronic, like Chuck E. Cheese type band in the woods is what I'm imagining. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or like Five Nights at Freddy's, only not as dangerous yet. You know?
Yeah.
So, is this a novella or a full-length novel?
It's about like 48,000, I think it was. So
Okay.
right, kind of right
So
between.
It's right there, yeah. Right novel length, essentially.
So what was your secret? What did you do differently this time around that the sentences are crisper and they flow better? Everything about this tells me that it's more polished. Did you have like a really professional editor go over it? Did you unlock some secret abilities you didn't know you had? Like, how did you improve so vastly this time?
Honestly, I feel like I did more of the upfront work on this one. I had the story pretty much figured out, in my head before I started, but I did a lot more structure work on the outline. Really kind of like chapter by chapter, try to hit all those main plot points to really, draw the reader in and really, toy with your emotions in the right places. That's really the main focus on this one. I did just a whole lot of pre-writing work before I actually started writing the novel.
And typically you don't do that?
Usually I might do bullet points type of outline if I do an outline.
Right.
I go back and forth between, just straight pantsing and then plotting.
And this was the most detailed outline you've worked from so far?
Yeah, by far the most.
Okay. And then did you have any particular model you went off of, or any particular type of philosophy that you went into it with? You know what I mean? Did you read some sort of do some research based on, to figure out, best way to plot a particular type of book or anything like that?
It wasn't any particular book, but I did when I first started writing, got more seriously, probably 2014. I read a lot of craft books, and
right.
I think I just read them, and then I just kind of just started writing, but I didn't really put it to real practice.
Right.
Just kind of going off, what I read and trying to remember that in my head. But for this one, I actually did sit down and, go back through those and really chapter by chapter what needs to happen in order, to make the story flow really well.
And how far along are you into it, Jeremy?
I think that they just they just met a creepy old woman or something.
I mean, how many pages or percentage approximately?
I'm 16% of the way.
Okay. So he hasn't spoiled too much then, Jay,
No,
right?
Not yet, no.
Yeah, he still has 86% more to go.
Yeah.
They're talking to some girl named Auntie Pipple.
Right. That's
Explain who Auntie Pipple is.
That's who the twin sisters go to stay with.
Oh yeah, okay.
Christopher Lesko says he couldn't put it down and finish in 2 days, but he's too timid to come on here and say it to your face.
He is the timid person.
He has the link.
Yeah, tell Chris to come on.
Come on, Chris. If you want.
Yeah, come on, Chris Lesko.
Or are you afraid of the monsters and Cunt Crusher and?
It's been a long time since he's been on. Now that I think about it.
No, he was on
last week.
When you deserted us. When you deserted us, he was on. Yeah. So. Yep. When you deserted us, he was on. So.
Yeah, Chris and I know each other. We went to Scares That Care together a couple of years ago. I guess it was 2 years ago now.
So you guys knew each other prior to your writerly careers, or you guys met because of writerliness?
Yeah, we met just online,
Okay.
Just met online, and that was our first time actually meeting in person.
Okay.
We clicked right away. It was pretty weird.
Did you say you were around in the West Virginia area, or?
No, I'm in a little bit west of Richmond in Virginia.
Okay.
It's Central Virginia.
So
it might not be too far away from Kingsport, Tennessee. Then.
Heavily wooded areas. You know your way around. A lot of that there, right?
Right. Yeah.
You know your way around the woods?
No way around the woods. I've been in some woods before.
So you've got a pretty extensive, bibliography at this point. What hobby horses, then straight jackets, popsicle hearts,
giraffe carcasses,
which I did actually like. But it seems like with those, you were making it up as you went along, and a lot of times it didn't always stick. With this one, this feels like a lot more controlled. It's a lot. It's like you're more confident in your abilities, and I'm just wondering what could have happened that you matured to this point. That even if it was stream of consciousness, it feels more comfortable.
Yeah, I
feel like a lot of practice.
I probably should be better at this point, but yeah, I feel like this one's probably my least amount of the the stream of conscious writing. I feel like with the other books, it's a lot of going back second and third drafts, trying to fix it, trying to make it work. This one, it was pretty much just I did so much pre-writing up first, so much outline and structure that when I wrote it, it really was just fixing typos and small things like that. There wasn't even really a second or third draft.
So that didn't spoil the process for you, being that having that kind of attention to detail going in. That didn't spoil it for you.
I was worried that it would. I think that's why I was hesitant to try this, but I actually really, really enjoyed it. So I think going forward, that's how I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it potentially working out well, right? Because you're not having to think about making up big stuff. You can just concentrate on the on the scene itself, right? Making it as best as you can, rather than trying to constantly try to come up with something from whole cloth.
Right. It's more just description and dialogue, basically, at that point.
Right.
This was self-published, right?
Yeah, I just did this one myself.
Mm-hmm.
When did this come out?
It came out in October.
Okay. And it's available in ebook and paperback as well, I'm assuming.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
There he is,
Who's he?
Phoenix. But Lesko
Phoenix.
joining us. Lesko should be joining us here in a minute too. So let's see. We got
Cool.
Yeah, we've still got enough space. The StreamYard allows up to 10 people now. So now, when it comes to Ann and Regina, we may have to ask some to drop out. If that's after 9 o'clock though, so that's fine. Nobody needs to worry about that right now. So hey, Phoenix.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, we're talking to our first guest, J. Peter W., author of In the Woods Monsters Happened, and I think that you'd really like this guy's style. You probably like his earlier stuff, which I didn't quite agree. It didn't quite agree with me, but it's more stream conscious, wild, wacky, all over the place. You'd probably like it.
So you would describe it as kind of surrealist in a way with like the imagery, or is it more like horror?
I don't
like both.
I wouldn't consider your old stuff horror. Would you?
No, I don't know if I've ever written anything that I would consider straight horror. Everything's dark, dark and weird. That's just what I do.
Yeah, none of it's straight horror, right? But it has
Right,
horrific
yeah.
elements and has weird, surrealistic stuff going on in it.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm somewhere in pulling from all those areas.
Yeah, no, I'm looking it up right now. So this is the one that you recommend, In the Woods Monsters Happened?
This is my latest.
And the Woods
Nice.
Monsters happened? Oh, monster.
And I would not. No offense. I would not recommend Luciferin or. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Talk it up.
No, I mean it's your show, your opinion. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Why? What?
What was the list it was on? Worst endings or something?
Bad Ending Club.
Okay.
A lot. That's where a lot of newer books end up. Yeah, but I've got to ask, while we're on the topic of Luciferin, you were going for something humorous, but has enough time passed, like with Safe Harbor, that I can actually talk about the ending and expound upon it at length now?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I mean, there's a thing called Safe Harbor where, after a certain point, you're no longer have to protect people with spoiler warnings and whatnot because enough time has passed. And I feel
Jeremy, why do you bring this up? Spoiler warnings are always bad.
No, they aren't.
Hey, Zach.
It's called Safe
Hey, Zach.
Harbor.
Freaking like
No,
Zach.
Safe Harbor is
Hey,
a
Zach.
real thing.
who cares?
Hey, Zach.
Well,
Hey,
I
Zach.
don't care about your stupid
Hey, Zach.
spoiler fear.
What?
Zach. Rosebud was his slide.
What?
The boat sank. Asshole.
Yeah, why'd you have to tell me? You could have not told me.
Tyler-
And life would be better.
Tyler
Because I-
Durden and Jack
better.
were the same guy.
How does it feel to be consistently making life worse for me and your listeners by spoiling the end?
Don't worry, because the feeling is mutual. You make mine just as bad. So
That's because I've exposed certain intricacies of your mind that you might not be comfortable with.
Hey, Zach, the giant is actually a windmill.
this guy
What?
thinks he's got a blueprint of my mind. Fuck out of here. Here's CL.
Who?
Let's go. We got a full house now, boys. So, Chris, you may be the only person here who's actually finished this really awesome book. I'll probably be the second. What questions do you have for Jay or Peter or what? I forgot. What do you like to go by? Is it Justin or Peter? Or
You can call me Justin. It's fine.
what do you have for him, Chris?
When are you going to start building your own labyrinth with animatronics in it in your backyard?
Yeah, I'm all about some animatronics. It's like an obsession of mine. So I mess with the small scale, but nothing large scale yet. But that is something I plan to do. It's
So
kinda
you
like-
actually do have some skills in that arena?
Little at this point, but that's kind of like my retirement plan. I'm going to
Wait
be
a
doing
minute.
It's like a little
that-
hobby thing that you do, right? So
Right.
you actually are building some animatronics. So that's cool.
Are you bullshitting, or is that real?
No, I mean I haven't built anything, full scale yet, but that's a plan of mine.
So have you built something small scale, like a little mouse's head or something? What do you got going on?
Just right now more like wind up things.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Can you show them? Can you show them on camera?
Not right now. I'm in my bedroom. They're out in the shed.
We could wait if you want to go get them.
Well, let's let them get prepared for another. I mean, it's kind of like.
How about you just turn your camera on and then give us a tour?
No,
of your house and the shed?
I'm not. No, I don't need to know what he looks like. I think there's a picture of him on Goodreads anyway.
Yeah, there's a picture of him on Goodreads or something.
I don't need to know what he looks like. I just want to know these machines he's building. I want to know if they have like world domination.
I'm not building machines right now. No.
So you lied to us.
Nothing that extreme.
So you lied to us.
Yeah, I'm lying.
Someone's typing, and this typing is intense.
Yeah, that's some pretty intense typing. Yeah, Ben, ask him something.
I think. Never mind.
Okay, so what was the inspiration for In the Woods Monsters Happened?
It pulls from a lot of things. I think I was really trying to get back in the headspace, when I was a teenager. And so I pulled things from that Peter Pan movie Hook.
Mm-hmm.
There's parts from that and parts from the 80s movie, was it Little Monsters?
Loved it.
Yeah, I kind of pulled from different ideas like that. And then, of course, I've been waiting to put the animatronics into a book. So I've been thinking about this book for a long time.
Okay, so as I was saying, the safe harbor period is over as far as Lucifer. I mean, it's been out for at least 9 months. That's long enough for a human being to gestate in the womb. So I'm going to go ahead and ask. You were going for like something humorous when she loses her mouth but has snakes for hands, right? And he takes her to the beach, which she wanted to go to from the beginning of the book. So What is it she tries to say, but it's just gibberish on the last page? She's like, you took me to the beach. Is that what she was trying to say?
I have no idea, honestly. I can't remember.
Well, dude, it's your book.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to remember what I was thinking then.
I mean, I do remember that there was the ending beach scene, but you're saying that, Jeremy, you're saying that she tried to say something. Oh, yeah, because her mouth was all messed up, right? So you don't know what she was trying to say. And you think that possibly, Jeremy, you think that possibly she said, hey, you took me to the beach.
Yeah.
That's profound.
You're probably right. That's probably what I was going for.
Can I read it out loud just to annoy Zach?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, let's see.
Why do you annoy me? Why do you want to annoy me?
Anybody who plans on reading Luciferin, cover your ears for about 10 seconds. I wave as I pull away, leaving the windows down so the breeze can fill the car. Natalie mumbles something from the back seat. I think she's excited. We're finally getting our beach vacation, I tell her. It's going to be a blast. So that's a reasonable conclusion to draw. The problem is he's got isn't he going to hit her in the head with a shovel or shoot her in the head or something? He's going to put her out of her misery. I think that's part of it too.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I was thinking.
Maybe
whether they go to the beach first or not, I think he was, going to kill her. In my mind,
couldn't he just get an operation?
So, I mean, but the way that was written, it didn't seem like her mumbling would have had any real significance, right? I mean, it wasn't like you're acting.
You can't talk.
Well, yeah, I know, but you're like, what was she saying, right? Like, and it doesn't seem as if that whatever she was saying was of any real significance, right? I mean, it wasn't written as if like, oh, like you got to figure out, what it is that she's saying in this particular scene because it was really important.
It was the penultimate sentence of the book.
Yeah, but he was kind of almost dismissive of the fact that she said something, right? I mean, he was just like, oh, she mumbles something, you know what I mean? Like
because he's about to straight up kill her like a savage.
Yeah. So I mean, it didn't read to me as if anybody should have really tied any major significance to her mumble. Like it wasn't like a mystery that needed to be solved in like a David Lynch film or something.
Why
you know?
couldn't he just get her help, man? Why did he have to
Get her help where?
some voodoo guy or something? I don't know.
So with listening to that, I actually think I agree with Gregor too. That it didn't seem like it was hinting at anything. I mean, it
Right.
certainly could. I mean, I haven't read it, but
I
just
have
based off
read
the way
it,
it was
actually,
described.
so, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, your interpretation makes sense.
Yeah, Jeremy's just crazy.
The
And
monsters
for
in
those,
this new one were really
humans that
good.
are maybe listening, I like the book. Jeremy and I are,
Gregor, did you finish
not in
it?
agreement.
You finished it, Gregor?
Yeah.
You were okay with the snakes on her hands.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we talked about it when Justin was on here last time. Yeah.
Hey, CC,
You know-
didn't you say that you read this book?
No, I'm waiting for the Cliff Notes edition.
When's that coming out?
The Cliff Notes. there is an audio version. That's probably the closest you're going to get.
This is some interview, huh?
So,
It sounds interesting, though. It sounds like these books are really dynamic.
Thank
I'll
you. I
give him
appreciate
this. I'll give him this. As far as imagery, it's great. It's a 10. I just feel like until this book, In the Woods Monsters, happened, you didn't really know how to harness your powers. I really feel like you're more confident in this one. I wish I had finished it before you came on, but you know me, I'm always reading too much at once. But I mean, probably there was a little bit of inspiration from like Five Nights at Freddy's in there, right?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely pulled inspiration from a lot of places with this one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Is this
Jay,
the one you were saying you thought you were writing a YA novel?
Yeah. When I like middle grade, when I first was writing it, I thought it was going to be a more middle grade, which I think some of the language, it is very, controlled and, it felt like a middle grade, probably a little too violent, maybe to be considered an actual middle grade, but I feel like a lot of the language, reads like a middle grade book.
I think CC had a question.
Yeah, I think you had a question.
yeah. So when people say you haven't really come into your own until this recent book, do you ever just feel like slapping the shit out of them?
Not most people. No.
Anybody
No,
on this podcast?
Yeah, the operative word being most.
No, I think everyone's entitled to their own opinion. That's fine.
I don't know his opinion. I'd want to slap him.
Yeah, his opinion sucks.
He muted me.
Did
Why
you?
can't I mute
Did
him?
you?
Okay.
I was interested in this piece about
Bitch.
it being middle grade writing.
Yes, Phoenix.
Bitch, you do not mute me.
He muted me too.
I was curious about the component of like what middle grade writing would look like. I had read Maniac McGee at one point, and I was amazed at how the language was extremely accessible, even if it was dealing with pretty, I think, existential themes. And so I'm curious, do you think middle grade students would like the book? Do you think the writing would resonate with them? Even if it was a little bit violent?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's what I thought when I was writing it.
Well, I only wondered because, I've tried doing the same thing, and tapping into that language is really difficult.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I read several middle grade books earlier in the year, and I think I was just trying to get in that kind of headspace as I was writing it.
Cool. Yeah, was it the writing of those books that you liked, maybe the accessibility or the kind of charm?
Yeah, I think a little bit of the charm. I've always thought middle grade books were a lot closer to the bizarro genre. You can get away with a lot as far as in the story. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I was going for. So I wouldn't consider this book a bizarro book, but it has a lot of weird elements.
Okay.
Dark fantasy.
Right.
Yeah, dark fantasy. Yeah, so the middle grade, so there's kind of an appeal then with the middle grade writing. What is it about the language that makes it seem they can capture those elements easier?
I don't know. It does have that charm. It's just, you know, I don't want to say like simplified, but it's just, you know, easily accessible. And I really like the flow of a lot of middle grade books.
Oh,
You're also very story focused, right?
Right.
I mean, it's
Something
very
else.
story focused.
right.
Something
Exactly.
else I found interesting is that there's something called the madness in the forest, and I don't know what it is yet, but the eccentric guy with the animatronic robot people or whatever, he says that the madness leaves glitter, you know, like a slug would leave slime.
Right.
The madness leaves glitter everywhere it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some strong imagery there, you know, whatever it is. So it's pretty cool. Somebody's using turtle wax on their car or something. What's that noise?
Someone's wheezing while they masturbate.
Yeah, that's what I think's going on.
So anyway,
Probably
madness.
Please don't pull a tubing on the Quiet Place.
How much can you tell everyone about the madness, what it actually is, without spoiling things? Because, you know,
Sure. The madness is. I was kind of going for kind of like a two sides of monsters. So there's the animatronic monsters, and then there's a different monsters that live in the woods called the madness.
are they going to face off in like an epic battle later?
That could happen, possibly.
An epic rap battle.
Right. It's a dance off.
Well, the robots would win that, right?
They would have to. You would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have the stamina, staying
The
power.
madness is not going to be like the man behind the curtain pretending to operate a wizard, is it? I mean, it's a legitimate like supernatural force, right?
I thought you said you'd only got 16% in.
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing, Jeremy?
So I just
figure out yourself.
So I just guessed it. I am 16% in. Yeah. They're talking about the glitter. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get there. You'll see it.
Okay. So it is the man behind the curtain, is what.
I don't want to give too much away.
That's okay. I'm sure.
No, the madness and the animatronic people are like different.
I get that.
But so this one could possibly still make the worst ending books, right?
No, I don't believe it.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that to you after I hyped this up.
I've heard more good things about this book than any of my previous stuff so far, so I'm
Yeah.
hoping that's a good sign.
I mean, did you edit it yourself, or did you hire an editor? That's what I don't.
My wife actually edited it.
Okay. Did she edit the others?
I think several of them. I don't know if all of them. Definitely
You're
not.
gonna ask him how much he paid her, Jeremy?
Yeah. How much did you pay her? No. You think maybe she got better as an editor?
God.
Well,
I'm joking.
she didn't edit Luciferin or Giraffe Carcass.
I'm sorry. It's awkward on purpose because
Luciferin was what? That was.
I have this
published that?
reputation.
That was
Grindhouse?
Grindhouse, yeah, Grindhouse Press.
I have this reputation of asking.
Stevie Hunt didn't do a very good job there, is what you're trying to say there.
I think Anderson Prunty might have edited that one.
Okay.
I have this reputation of asking inappropriate questions, or so I've been told. So, that's.
Yeah, so be prepared for him to ask you how big your dingling is at some point.
Now that's more Ben style. But,
So this is a question for Chris Lesko. What is going on with this coffee time stuff that Frank's going on about in the chat or in the comments or whatever? What's coffee time?
Oh, yeah. My neighbor, who actually I've known since like the 4th grade, lives next door to me, and we can share a cup of coffee through our like windows. like out of my bedroom and he's in his kitchen, and we're up on the third floor, the top floor of this apartment building.
Uh-huh.
And we open up the window and have coffee and make videos and pretty much just goof off and talk about what the Cleveland Browns are doing each week. But
where's this posted?
it's on Facebook. There's a Facebook page for it called Coffee Time with Chris and Mike.
And that's what he's referring to when he says Lesko is killing it with his coffee time shorts. Okay.
Yeah, we've been posting a bunch of them recently. Before that, it was like one a year. It's only been like 2 or 3 years though. It'd be like just very random. But
okay, I thought he was talking about like short writing pieces or something.
Now what is this? You ain't into those. You ain't one of those Antifa people, are you?
Yes.
What is that?
Oh yeah.
Yes, and he's coming to burn down your house specifically.
What's that have to do with that thing?
Yeah,
so it's not writing; it's a video.
Oh, actually,
there they are.
Yeah, so we talk books and shit like that, and music. He's a musician and a painter, and he actually made that video for me too. I was like, hey, let's for the new book. So he
book trailer.
Yeah, he made a trailer for me.
Cool. Maybe that's the same woods where the monsters happen.
Is it?
Somebody is asleep. I hear snoring.
That looks like it,
someone is asleep in here. Somebody is snoring. I swear I hear
It's
somebody
me.
snoring. Okay. No, I can still hear him. Someone is snoring.
So what are you working on now, Justin? Are you working on anything new?
Early stages and something. I wanted to, I'm taking the similar approach of doing a lot of the pre-writing work, really refining an outline right now.
So are you looking to do another thing that you think could possibly be a middle grade type book?
Yeah, I think so. It's probably very similar theme type feeling as In the Woods Monsters Happened.
Okay.
Did you say free writing?
No.
Pre-writing.
Pre-writing, yeah.
A lot of like.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I was curious.
Yeah,
I was curious what your process is actually with because you mentioned free writing specifically, but I wonder how you end up. I mean, aside from writing the book, of course, how you end up writing books.
Well, within the Wood Monsters Happened, I went back and really kind of studied story structure and went back, actually went chapter by chapter and hit, every chapter of this needs to happen in order to, hit both the emotional toll on the reader and move the story along. And it's really, really honed in on that and focused on that.
Focusing exclusively or specifically on the you said story structure,
right? Yeah, real.
So what is it?
Structure.
Cool. Yeah, and I was wondering. So do you mean kind of like a narrative arc, or do you mean more how you have your characterization, or did you have anything specific?
Both the art, the story arc, and then just the what you need to hit along the way in order to keep the reader emotionally involved and invested in the characters. Just really, really focusing on that.
Are your books they contain elements of mystery as well? Because it sounds like you kind of build up to things based off the way you describe how you look at stories, and based off the covers too, which are pretty mysterious. But
yeah, I think I've always kind of felt like I have a mystery element to everything I write.
Cool.
I've never tried writing, a straight mystery, but I've always thought that that's something that I do.
Well, mystery goes.
Oops,
I was just gonna say mystery goes well with kind of darker themes. So I don't want to categorize your writing, but it reminds me a little bit of dark fantasy type thing. And those kind of speculative genres really allow for that kind of mystery too, because you're dealing with the unknown and things like that.
Right. Yeah.
Look at this. It's like a sitcom. Look at this. It's like a sitcom.
Thank you for being a friend.
Love it. Okay, so anyway,
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Coffee Time. That's very funny stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey Justin, I saw you were doing the I think the Nano month of in November. How for you with that?
Oh, it was a terrible this year. Yeah, my PC actually crashed on me, and I lost everything. I was about 18,000 words in, somewhere along the second week, and so I was like, fuck it, I'm done.
Why was
So,
I muted?
Yeah, I gave up on that one. I don't even know if I'm gonna try and redo that story. So
What, Zach?
You muted me.
I did the world a favor.
Yeah, it seemed like you were trying to let your pigs out or in or something. It sounded like there's a pig involved somewhere.
So
Were you
if I
making
may
those
ask-
noises, Zach, or did you pull them up on your phone?
I've not been making anything noise.
You squealing like a pig.
Sure.
So if I may ask, Justin, who does the artwork for your books?
I do most of them.
Really? Okay.
I didn't do Giraffe Carcass or Luciferin, but
Okay.
I did In the Woods Monster Typing.
How do you design them?
That one was most of it I did in Photoshop, just drawing in Photoshop. I
Cool.
took the image of the two girls, the silhouette. That's something that I just took. I found just an image of two girls and then made the silhouette out of it. But everything else on there, I just did by hand.
So I know that we kind of had some recommendations of so Jeremy said In the Woods Monsters Happen would be one, but I was looking at this Hobby Horses Then Straight Jackets, and I really like the cover for that one. Without giving it away, what is that one about? Do you recommend that one over your new one? Or, because it looks kind of cool.
The writing is much worse, but
Really? Okay.
the story is very very wild, very surreal.
What is it that you didn't like about the writing?
Well, that's my very first book, so
Okay.
I just feel like
Okay.
I've just improved so much since then. But
Yeah, that's true. I can imagine
the
that.
Severed Handbook was a good one too. That was like a mystery.
Well, what I wondered is sometimes earlier texts can sometimes be more emotional than some of our later ones. So I just wondered if maybe the emotional kill, even if the writing isn't your favorite, if that's there. Because at least I just look at the cover and it kind of evokes a lot. I find it to be evocative.
Give it a whirl.
Yeah,
maybe I will. I'll just get both
You
of them.
haven't hated so much that you unpublished it.
Why am I making a false dichotomy?
What was that?
What's
I
that?
missed that.
Oh, I was just joking that why am I making a false dichotomy when I can just get both of them?
Right.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah.
Hey, Ann
Yeah,
said she might
tonight-
not be coming on.
What happened?
She said she's sick.
Well,
I hope she's okay.
it is-
$2.99 is a good deal for these. Do you keep the prices low on purpose at 99 cents? Because with some of my books, I try to do the same thing with keeping it more accessible with
Right.
the pricing. Because some ebooks are still $15, $20. But obviously it's more enticing if it's maybe $5.99 or something, because it's a little bit more doable.
Probably
Yeah,
because
man.
Chris Lesko is a decent guy and doesn't want to just stick his fist up your ass.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm definitely
Unlike-
definitely not in it for the money. So as cheap as I can make them, it's fine. I don't care if I make any money off of any of my writing.
So that, I always find that interesting with kind of the motives of writers, because I have heard that you don't go into writing for money. You kind of tend to do it because you feel a pull towards telling stories, or depending on what you're writing. But I'm actually impressed that these are really cheap though, because I think some Kindle books are probably overpriced.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The major publishers especially will just shove their fist up your ass in regards to ebook prices. Academic prices
ones
especially.
too. They'll have $50 for a Kindle ebook.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed that
print book
with
is
some.
$100.
Really? Even for an ebook? Dang. Well, I noticed with some books, like I think the ebooks on Amazon compete with the actual print book. I noticed that the prices tend to compete with each other. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
I mean,
that
it's a
as
good
well.
marketing strategy, but I mean, they're both viable options, you know? And sometimes I do like it when like some of the books are not as expensive for like the ebooks. That actually is nice when it's like a lot cheaper than some of the print books.
Yeah, my preference lately has just been ebooks.
Really?
I kind of just moved off from paper books. Really, I'll
Really?
read maybe 1 or 2 a year, but most of the
I've
stuff I read is
noticed.
ebooks.
I've noticed that I tend to finish ebooks faster than print. I don't know why that is.
I wondered if that might be because it's like it's on a screen, and so I don't know if like we retain as much, but we might still get through it faster. If that makes sense. Because I think with like print books, you have to slow down because of the medium. But with like technology, I think it kind of spurs us to read faster.
So have you been reading on your Paperwhite quite a bit?
I have.
How
I'm
do you
still
like
trying to design the perfect library. But basically, yeah, I've been enjoying it. I mean, it's hard to switch back and forth because, you know, it is a lot of reading. And I don't have that many books yet on my Paperwhite because I've been just focusing on a couple to read. But I do like the accessibility of the Kindle. And I realized that you could get one with like a lot of space with like 30 gigabyte or I think 32. But since like they're all in the cloud, like once you buy them, like it's actually pretty convenient to think that you could just offload some of them and then download others onto the device.
Right.
Like it's actually a very streamlined process.
I mean, you're probably not going to run out of space on that device.
Even with 8 gigs? Well, I wondered because like, I don't know. I mean, in terms of like, you can't just spend a whole bunch of money on even ebooks, but I just meant because
there's HTML files, right? I mean, that's the picture. You know, sometimes they'll have pictures in them other than the cover, but I mean, you're probably not going to run out of any space.
Yeah. Well, I only wondered because I do get a lot of books, and yeah, I mean, probably with like 2,000 books, like that's going to take years to fill up.
Yeah.
But I just wondered because I do like reading, and I definitely enjoy it. But I do enjoy the device.
Ben was going to say you're going to fill it up. What were you going to say, Ben? You're saying he's going to run out of space with 8 gigs?
I mean, as long as he's using like regular Kindle books, he won't, because you know they can be, you know, stored back into the cloud. Right. But I actually ran out of space on mine and had to buy an SD card because I have a bunch of PDFs and Mobies for review copies.
So you couldn't offload those?
Yeah, but he's got a Paperwhite. You've got some kind of Kindle Fire or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's different.
Well, and I do. So I would run out of space from what I heard if I had more audio books, and also if I had books with a lot of illustrations and graphics.
Yeah.
But I love the idea that you can offload it, because like as much as I love books, like physical books, they do take up a lot of space, and that's one of the reasons why I invested in the Kindle, just because it would make it a little bit more, I would say, tidy. So.
Yeah. So do you have a library card?
Do I?
Yeah.
I do, and the library is currently closed, which is a bummer.
A lot of libraries have digital books you can, check out.
Oh, yeah. No, I may do that more often, yeah.
Yeah, I think
check out a lot of
download books. You have to download the Overdrive app, I think.
Okay.
Not for like Paperwhite.
Really?
He's got to side load it. He's got to put the Overdrive app on whatever device he's got, right? Like not as Paperwhite, but like on a laptop or whatever the case may be, and then he can download it and then side load it onto his Paperwhite.
That sounds a little bit complex, but I'm sure I could.
It's not complex, man. Like, you're a smart adult, you can handle it.
Well, I just meant, I like technology, but I'm like not that technological, I guess.
That's not a hard process. Give me a call on my phone or something. I'll have to walk you through.
Well, I wonder, like, I was thinking about like how to even like record music on like a laptop, and like even that was like a little too much, because I think you need like these special adapters, and I don't know. I haven't looked into that yet. I guess I just mean like, yeah, it's probably simple, but I'm not as technological yet, even though I do appreciate technology.
Yeah.
Justin,
I mean, I could show you certain sites where you can get Mobies for completely legal. I swear.
Right, like
Put it in
Project
the private
Gutenberg,
chat.
right? I mean, you go there and
Private
get
chat.
a movie.
Oh, can you download those on your Kindle
Yeah.
with the overdrive?
Ben, put
That's
it in
cool.
the private chat. I want to know it.
What?
Do I have to repeat it again? Ben,
Yeah.
put it in the private chat. I want.
Hey, this reminds me of that original multiverse.
Okay,
version.
anyway.
Put it,
So Justin,
Put what in the chat?
Justin,
put it in the chat.
haven't you published some short stories and some anthologies?
No, I've not. I don't write a lot of short stories. Maybe one a year. I just found I'm just better at like novel length stuff.
See, I think that the busy, the feverish pace at which everybody runs these days, I think that they would rather invest in a long-term story that's divided up among 3 books into a trilogy or something like that, or between seasons they go all the way up to season 7 or stuff like that. They want long-term storytelling instead of these little bite-sized short bursts of fiction. Because their time is so valuable, they can't waste it on something frivolous as a short story. And I feel like a lot of times short stories are frivolous now. Isn't it better that you realize the full potential of a story by making it longer if you can?
As the writer, I think short stories are harder. I don't know why.
I know that. I agree with that.
Okay. I mean, I hear what you're saying. I mean, it's probably like personal preference, but my thought on like the story is it definitely is like an art form in terms of thinking of like one of the ideas for Edgar Allan Poe writing like the short stories was to keep it contained, to keep like the terror like more basically compact, which is kind of an interesting idea. But I do also think that people really love like the long form genre fiction of fantasy.
But Justin, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I just I think short could work if it's episodic, but just a single short story to me, I don't find those like very appealing. I don't read a lot of short stories.
What does CC think?
About short stories?
Yeah.
So far that's all I've published. So, but all my short stories have usually just been kind of like crap, or I don't know. I'm notorious. Not too many people know this, but over the last summer, I actually just got tired of not having anything, and so I just spewed out a bunch of like first drafts onto Amazon. But they hold up pretty well for the laughs. I think longer works are easier than crafting a well-written short story. Gregor's pretty good at short stories, from the ones I've read in Bad Apples.
Thank you, but they are hard to write. I'm not something that's like comes easy.
So I don't mean to change the direction of the conversation real quick, but I was wondering, so Chad had said that the legal sites are full of books where they don't have permission. So like even like Project Gutenberg, because that would be like the only place I would go to like do that. And I would hope that would be legitimate.
Yeah. Gutenberg and archive.org. Those, they have somewhat of a legal standing. I don't know about the other one, but archive.org, at least for stuff that's been out of print for a long time or is in public domain, they can offer that stuff, right?
I get confused on public domain though, even because you end up with a lot of texts that are still in copyright, even if they were written a long time ago.
Yeah.
And that's because of, the translation makes sense, but it's still frustrating because you can't use that text, even though it's, because like I would like to use like more excerpts and things in like my YouTube channel and stuff, but I don't risk it at all because YouTube is so stringent on that. I'd like everything counting as not fair use, but like it should be fair use. And it's like really frustrating to try to navigate that line. And so I just don't do it at all because I don't trust it. Because fair use, you should just be able to use a passage, and I think some YouTubers do. but I don't trust it because you just don't know.
Gregor dropped out, by the way, but I'm sure he'll be back. Excuse me. But so you're mostly just full length, huh, Justin?
Yeah, I tend to do just lean more to novella and novel length things.
You can realize the full potential of a story that way. With short story, it tends to just, it's too episodic for me. I mean, I appreciate a good short story, but it leaves too much to the void. Basically, it's like you get this sliver of a
I mean,
of a attention on this person's life, and then it's over as soon as it's begun. Basically,
I mean, I mean, I don't really agree with that full potential of a story. It needs to be novel length. I mean, like Phoenix mentioned Edgar Allan Poe. Do you really think The Telltale Heart or The Black Cat would be better if they were like novels?
no, but because of the subject matter, it's hard to write an entire novel about a black cat, right? Unless it's like they're in.
I mean, Stephen King did it with Pet Sematary. I'm being facetious.
Right. No, but I mean, unless the cat is anthropomorphic, and has like a human-like perspective, like Watership Down or some shit, then
Jack London did it with the dog twice.
Yeah, right. But what was the other
like with
example?
Jack London? Do you think like to build a fire would be better if that was novel length?
I've not read that.
You're talking about White Fang, right?
No, to build a fire.
Call of the Wild.
To build a fire, depending on how far the guy had to go. We never really find out how far he had to go, other than he was supposed to meet up with some, fellow hunters or miners or some shit like that, right? Right?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm just saying that these are, I really don't think they would have benefited from being longer.
To build a fire pissed me off anyway, because he was going to eat his dog. Fuck that guy. He deserved to freeze out there.
And of course, you could point to Harlan Ellison's numerous short stories. I'm pretty sure most of those wouldn't have benefited from being novels.
Several of them. Come on, dude. Harlan Ellison, you kidding me? He could.
There's a reason he mostly wrote short stories.
Wait, so Jeremy, I'm curious, like, why you do prefer the longer form? Because I do think that takes a certain kind of like mythological mind, where like you want to like delve into like language and like these really intricate stories. That's why I'm enjoying Tolkien right now. But I wonder, like, do you think it's a personal preference for like to have the longer form stuff?
Yeah, I want to feel like I have witnessed a saga with these characters. I want to feel like I have been through, like war in the trenches with these people instead of an afternoon with coffee with them and then never see them again. If that that's my take on it.
Well, I just find it interesting because now I understand why you don't like poetry with that in mind. Because like poetry is like too concise almost. Like even the more florid stuff.
Poetry is almost not even a thing to me. It's these images that don't mean anything literally most of the time. It's all this figurative, metaphorical stuff. Metaphor, it cannot exist in physical. You can't touch metaphor. I hate that, unless it's something within the story already. I hate that figurative stuff that's like already fleeting by the time you mention it. It's like pixie dust. I can't do anything with that shit. But anyway, we were talking to Justin about his work, and I feel like we may be winding down with that. But what do you want to say to anyone who's listening? And keep in mind, most of them are authors. Justin, what is the message you tried to convey with this new book, and what is your mission overall? As you go forward with your writing. Welcome, Regina, by the way.
Hello.
Hope Gregor comes back. There he is. All right. So go ahead, Justin.
I wasn't really going for any type of message with this one. It was just a story that I'd been sitting on for a long time. A lot of things from my childhood, a lot of my interests, I just pulled into this book, and it was probably my favorite book to write.
I'll probably have this thing read by the end of the weekend. What kind of message though?
Wait, it is the end of the weekend.
Oh yeah, right.
No, the
Early
end of
next
the week
week.
that starts.
End of my weekend then. Anyway, so I mean, what is your message going forward? What most says you in what you're going to be writing in the future? I mean, I don't know how to say this. Somebody help me.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely enjoyed this, borderline middle grade style, and pulling in dark fantasy and still having those weird elements that I enjoy. I think I might continue on this same kind of style for at least the next several releases.
All right. And give us a hint of what you are working on now, if you are. I mean, like what is the subject matter? Just in one word.
I'm actually I'm kind of rewriting The Little Mermaid, not the Disney movie, but the original children's tale. I'm doing that, and except for a mermaid, it's going to be a demon. That's what I'm working on now.
Well, like a sea demon,
No, it's nothing to do with the ocean. It's just kind of like from a demon world to human. So kind of like a tragedy, like a love story tragedy, but still in the same dark fantasy, weird kind of style.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I hope you continue to improve as you did with this one, man, because it was a lot easier to read what I've read so far, and I don't feel estranged from it as I did with Luciferin near the end so far, and so I'm proud of that. I'm proud of you for that. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you continuing to read.
Yeah. And anytime you want to promote anything, feel free to come, or just chill with us. Feel free. I'll drop a link to you. So.
All right. I appreciate you guys having me on.
You can hang around now if you want. We are moving on, but if you want to stick around, or if you need to go, whichever, it's fine.
I'm gonna drop off because I got 3 little kids and I gotta put them to bed. But I appreciate you guys having me on.
Thanks for coming on. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice talking to you again.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to read. Yeah, I'm excited to read. I'll decide which one, but I'm curious to see this middle grade writing actually. Like, I love that style just because, for the reasons we talked about, that it's accessible in a different way,
Yeah,
so
I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you, brother.
See ya.
Bye.
See you, Justin.
Thank God he's finally gone. No, I'm joking. It was a joke. It was literally a joke. Come on, guys. What the fuck?
I didn't think it was funny. Did you think it was funny, Cece?
So that
If we
happens
all
where-
laugh, we'll just be laughing on top